Alright. So we're fucking recording. You guys have no idea what you don't know, and that is the topic of today's discussion. I'm Bruce, this is Bennie.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for listening. Anyway, if I could divert your attention back to me for a second, get your hands off the soda, pay attention, this is important. Life is happening all around you. That's right, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't even know how to come off from that.
I mean, the speed of life. One must go. If one is to move fast, one must go about slower things. You know, people pass me on the interstate doing 90. At the same time, 5 minutes later, I'll pass 5 cars doing 45, 50. You know, it's weird. Life is funny. It's not really even a pace, is it?
No.
It's like a circumstance. I mean, how do you measure that?
I have no clue.
You really can't.
No, you can't.
I mean, you gotta talk about it. Yeah, that's the point of philosophy, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, this being the first recording we've done, this is actually off to a pretty good start.
Yeah, on your side, definitely.
I mean, I'm not even talking about anything yet. It's like 1 minute 30 seconds into this thing, and you have no questions for me at this point. I think I'm doing pretty good.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, if you had a ton of questions, I'd be worried that you're not making enough sense.
True.
Oh man.
What is your idea on unity?
Unity is a weird thing because it encapsulates a lot of ideas. You know, it's a paradigm in itself in that regard. You know what I mean? And a lot of people, especially adults, will argue that, you know, it's on its way out the door as a paradigm, while the youth will say it's here to stay as forevermore. I mean, you know, these kind of arguments always took place. I don't know, but it's definitely a large part of the human experience. And you know, the funny thing is that even though it may be a minuscule part of the universal experience, it's also in retrospect really proportionate as far as the individual experience. You know, the oneness idea. You know, we all experience unity as something very proportionate, but not linear. Yeah, I think it's really important because it kind of gives us time to kind of sit back and say, you know, this is really what's going on, you know, this oneness idea and the singularity and everybody, you know, coming to terms with this huge, you know, selfless argument. I mean, it's really, you know, eye-opening, you know, and we see people, you know, younger today, you know, asking more and more questions, and we've been seeing that for a long time now. This whole century, people have been asking more questions and becoming smarter with the, you know, as they grow up and the new generations, you know, moving up the ranks, climbing the ladders, you know, throwing the ropes down, you know. I wish someone would throw me a light. I feel like I missed that wave.
Hell yeah.
I don't know, man. What do you think? I mean, unity, like, do you think it's a universal experience as far as humanity, or do you think it's something that, like, an idea that somebody started and basically a running gag, you know, like the longest game of telephone ever created? Man,
I choose not. I mean, I hope that isn't the truth.
Well, I mean, I think in either case wouldn't be a bad thing, because, you know, things come into existence all kinds of ways, but usually they first, you know, have to make their appearance. You know, you roll out the red carpet, and here they come down the Hollywood lane of memory aisle, you know, and everybody acknowledges their ambient presence. I mean, these ideas like unity and singularities and the new paradigm, and I mean, they're all exciting, but is that really? You know, I mean, I don't know. Is that really the main goal of everybody? I mean, if it was, everybody would be hip to it, right?
Yeah, exactly. I don't
I really don't think so either, man. I think it's a really good point. You know, it's like you get people who, you know, work with wood. You get people who work with steel. People who work with fire.
Yeah.
You know, you get people who think, and you get people who do and act. You know, and see, and you get all these jobs, you know, and all this diversification. I mean, what I'm curious to know is, you know, what's beyond the scope of the New Horizon? You know, what's in it for us to look deeper into space and to ask bigger questions? You know, is that something we're upholding? Is that a hand-me-down tradition? I don't know. I mean, it's got to be something along the lines of important.
Yeah.
You know, because if it wasn't, then obviously we wouldn't have been doing it. We've been doing it the whole time, ever since the wheel. You know, a guy wakes up one morning from his cave, you know, he looks outside and says, you know, I want to change all of this and make it mine, but I don't know how. I need something to do it. So what does he do? The first object he comes to terms with is the wheel, to flatten everything out, to straighten everything out, right? And we've been acting on it ever since, man. You know, the wheels are turning in his head that day, and I feel, a lot of people feel that keeps happening. There's like a residual pattern of interference, you know, with the wave function of experience, where people actually, you know, have aligned or been in line to have discoveries or innovations with technology, things that other people haven't seen. But to me, it's not that the other people can't see that stuff. It's just that they don't have the time. They've invested their time into other things, you know, and that's just like, you know, people who are awakened and people who are constructive. You know, you get diversification there. You know, there's all kinds of people. You know, if we were all similar, we wouldn't all be awakened. We'd all be working.
Definitely.
I don't know, man. That's 7 minutes. I'm gonna cut it short here, just for time's sake. But thank you for listening. This has been Benny and Bruce, and
Hi.
hey, we hope you wake up. Peace.